Good morning, friends. Welcome back to Bush Poppy Farm. I hope you are doing well. We are out at the farm this morning. I have to do a little bit of harvesting for an event. I have a client who is hosting a small dinner party on Saturday, and he just wanted some bud vases for wildflowers. And we have plenty of short stems out here to harvest, as well as some long stems. So this morning I'm going to be harvesting, not just for that, but for keeping the plants going. So when you have cut and come again plants, it's important to keep harvesting or they will set seed and they'll be done. So you want to make sure that if you want your plants to keep producing and they are cut and come again, not single stem. Like stock is a single stem flower. You cut that, it's done. But most others are cut and come again. So I am going to come out here and get a nice little bucket full of a lot of fun stuff. And then I'm going to do some weeding. There is a horrible pathway that is loaded with weeds. Let me show you. So this is my project for today. It is very overgrown, and you can see it's taking over the beds. So I'm going to come in here with my my scuff, my hula hoe, and get up as much of this as I can before I get too hot. And some of it has to be dug up. This aisle wouldn't look like this if I had put down wood chips and cardboard. I just never got around to it. So that is another job for another day, as well as weeding all the stuff on the side over here. So the kids are going to come out and help me in a couple days. Mostly I've been waiting till I have a day where I don't feel really horrible. But there's a lot of like trimming that needs to be done. I need to put vinegar on some more weeds, and we need to load up pathways with cardboard and wood chips. So I can get all of that done with the two of them in a single morning. Me by myself, it takes a lot longer. So they have agreed to come help, and I'm looking forward to that. So I did a little walkabout this morning on the farm, and we've got sunflowers doing great coming up. We are the Lysianthus, not where it needs to be. Last year at this time, both of these beds were enormous, full of hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of stems of Lysianthus, not single stems, just barely rising up. So while I am getting some harvests off of these, it is a pretty terrible performance, and it's not the Lysianthus's fault. Again, I think it's a soil issue. I think it's an issue that it's been cold all season. We've barely had any warm weather. And so, yeah, so we're at that point. We're also at the point in the season, usually at the beginning of August, I am ready to be done because I'm tired, because it's been a very busy season and I'm ready to, be done for the season. But this year I am ready to be done, not because it's been a busy season, because I've hardly had anything to harvest all season. It's been a struggle. That's why I'm tired. I am looking forward to October, even September. I'm going to start all my seeds for the spring at the beginning of September. And by the beginning of October, we will be out here emptying these beds, pulling up all the irrigation, forking all the beds, putting down more gypsum, more compost, and planting new seedlings, putting in new irrigation, and getting ready for spring. And that's going to feel really good. I'm definitely going to need help for that. I'm sure Dylan will be happy to help me. So that I'm looking forward to, because I just want to start over. I need a fresh start. It has been a challenging season. Even though I was super upset at the beginning of the season when I found out that the wholesaler I'd been supplying to and had planned to supply about $13,000 worth of product to this year had closed up shop, I'm actually glad in a way, because not that the wholesaler left, but I don't have stems to harvest. I do have stems to harvest, but not enough for wholesale. And so that pressure is off, which is great. All I have left is the CSA. It starts, I think, on the 22nd of August, and it goes through the end of September, at which time we will pull everything that's still here flip the beds and get going for spring 2026, which I hope will be a much better season. I do have plans on where I'm going to put tulips and all that kind of stuff. We will do a farm tour in a couple days. I'll have one of my kids film for me so that I can walk around and talk about things and not have to keep moving the camera. When I'm at her solo, it's a little bit harder to do farm tours. So I will show you all the stuff at that point in time. I do have more plans, but the bigger plan is, even though I still don't know about doing it at home, I am going to call the county and go ahead and set up for cats out here. It does mean coming out every day now for the foreseeable, forever, to make sure they have food and water and all that kind of stuff. But I can't keep up. There's been a lot of predation. A big patch of my sunflowers is gone from being eaten. The mums are being eaten. So the only way I can get control of the rodent population out here is to have the cats, because even though I can set lots of traps and catch lots of them, right outside the deer fence is woods. And across the street is a wetland, and it is just, there are thousands of rodents here. There is no way to trap them all. Even if I could daily trap everything that's in here in this farm plot, more would just move in from the areas right outside of the deer fence. So I think we're going to go ahead and do the cats. I am going to have to build a really nice shelter for them. I'll build a pretty big one. So this section right here is in shade pretty much all day. It's under an oak tree. I can't really grow anything there. I was going to put a greenhouse there at some point, or a high tunnel hoop house, but I decided against that. So we will build a really nice cat shelter here off the ground so that it doesn't get any flooding in heavy rain events, and probably collect a little bit of water off of the roof as well. But it will be sheltered and safe for them to get in there and sleep at night or escape from predators. And it will be shaded all the time. And so even on the hot days, they'll have a place where they can go. We'll have it nicely ventilated, and there are more rodents in this little area right here than almost the whole farm. There are hundreds of holes. There will be plenty for them to hunt. Now, the way it works with those cats is you get them and they have to stay in like a dog carrier, big giant crate for 2 weeks. You can't let them out to get used to the area where they're living. So that means every day, a couple times a day, I'm out here checking on them, bringing them food and water, making sure they're safe in there and they're okay, not getting too hot, that kind of stuff. Once that period is over, you can then release them into the area and they can start adapting. But as you can see, all the crazy cars going by, the speed limit on this road is 45. People do way faster than that. And it's a lot of big trucks, work trucks, etc. So yeah, it makes me very anxious. I just can't see how it's going to work otherwise. I've got to get mousers out here. So I'm going to talk to the county and see what they can do for me. They have a whole program for feral cats that are not necessarily like feral, like don't want to be anywhere near you, although you have some of those, but pretty much cats that can't be adopted into a household situation because they just won't live in a house. They're not super friendly. They just want to be on their own outside. And so their point is having them on your farm, even though there are more dangers for them because they're exposed to predators, stuff like that, that's better than living in a cage their whole life. And I do agree. I just hope I can give them a happy life, a happy and safe life. So, all right, I need to get started harvesting. I'm gonna go ahead and pick a whole bunch of stuff that'll go in these bud vases, as well as some other things that just need to be harvested today that I can enjoy at home. And then I'll get started on this weeding. Hopefully I can get this whole row done, just so I can have it cleared. And then when we come out, all we have to do is put down cardboard and wood chips. The only thing stopping me from doing all that is my head, because it does hurt a lot today. But I'm gonna keep trying, keep doing what I can do, and hopefully we can get some work done. I got most of it done. As a backbreaker though, my back is very sore and I feel a little overworked and I don't want to make this headache worse later. Today is Aiden's birthday, so 18th birthday, so I want to be able to celebrate with my family and not be in bed. So I'm gonna take it easy and be done with that for now. Let me really quickly show you this little bucket. This is just some of the fun stuff I harvested to use in the bud vases. We've got some lisianthus here. This is actually an orange variety, but it looks pink. And then we've got sunflowers, which won't go in the bud vases. Those are just for home. Got marigolds and some daucus and some zinnias and statice and strawflower and a couple snapdragons in there. And we have a whole bunch of stuff at home that are true wildflowers, native California wildflowers that I will be harvesting as well for fun stuff. I put also some short grasses in there too, which always look good in a bud vase. So I'm gonna put this bucket in the car. I need to go pick up cupcakes and tarts and stuff for this evening. Then we'll come back and put together these bud vases. Okay, we are back home. I showered, had some lunch, and ran out, and I got a whole selection of really cute little tarts, fruit tarts and stuff for birthday party time tonight. Because my youngest is turning 18, they'd rather spend time with their friends, which is completely understandable. So we're just kind of forcing a family dinner out, and then time to open gifts, and then everybody can go off and do whatever they want to do. So it'll be fun. So what I've got here is 10 of the bud vases that I have. I've got 2 boxes of 22 each. And I actually just got these off of Amazon a couple years ago. And in the box, they come in these really heavy-duty styrofoam trays that are flexible. So what I do is I create them, I fill them, and then I can put them in here for transport. So they can stay full of water, full of the flowers, and this is easy to carry, and they can make it to their destination without spilling and getting all crazy. So all I'm going to do now is play. The thing about bud vases is I don't usually use a formula. I just go in and pop things in here and there. You don't want them to be sparse, but you also don't want it to be too full because it's not really meant to be a bouquet per se. It's more like a tiny posy. So they're kind of fun to do. And this guy didn't even have a requirement for colorway, which is great. So I can just play around, use the bucket of blooms that I got today at the farm, and see what looks good. Some of the vases will have a big focal flower, some will have tiny ones, some will have grasses, some won't. You know, it's just all over the place. That's what makes it fun. So I will set you guys up to watch, and basically it's just going to be moving things around here and there until I like the way it looks. Then we'll package them up in the styrofoam tray and they'll be ready for pickup tomorrow. First thing I'm going to do though is fill my watering can with flower food. And each one of these bud vases will get water with flower food, almost filled to the top, because we will be trimming these flowers that we harvested earlier today back to fit in these bud vases. They will be thirsty again, so we want to make sure that there's plenty of fresh water with flower food for them to soak up once we cut them. Okay, I think we are done. I love this palette. This like apricot, kind of slightly orangey with some yellow tones palette. I think it's so pretty. And I think he's gonna be really happy with it. And this is gonna look so nice it's all gonna be on a single table that fits 8 people. So they'll be scattered around. I think it'll be really, really pretty. Okay guys, that's gonna be it for me today. We have friends who've arrived. It's birthday afternoon, so I'm gonna cut it off here. Thanks so much for hanging out. Hope to see you in the next one. And in the meantime, I hope you have a wonderful time in your garden. See you next time. Bye-bye.